Celia Kibler.
And I'm Dr. Kailey Buller.
Welcome to Raising Eyebrows. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Raising Eyebrows. I'm Celia Kibler.
And I'm Kailey Buller.
And we're talking about unconditional love today. So really, that message to your kids, which should always be the message to your children. There's when parents, let me put it this way, when parents withhold love, their punishment doesn't include love. Their love is based on their behavior. When they do something wrong and a parent says, well, frankly, right now, I'm not only not happy with you, I don't even like you. I don't even love you. Those are statements that a child doesn't grow out of. Statements that live in their heads forever. And when a child is raised with unconditional love, then they trust no one to actually love them. I had a client who was raised with a parent, a mother, who basically judged all her love on how her children were behaving. And he learned that love is conditional. It's not always there. You can't always trust it. You can't always believe in it. And so he raised a daughter who had permission to do everything, had no guidance, no limits. That's why they hired me, because he literally felt if he didn't give her her way, she would stop loving him.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest challenge with this is it's easy to say we're going to love you unconditionally, or we do love our child unconditionally, and you shouldn't withhold love as a punishment. But it's so much more nuanced than that, right? Like when you're giving in to every demand, every wish, that's not the same thing as loving your child, right? So it's much more nuanced. And one of the things that I find is so ingrained in our society still, despite a lot of the great strides that we've made, is particularly raising young women. We applaud them for their service, for their good behavior, for whatever. And we don't applaud them for their effort, for their creativity, for their, like, there are so many things. And so women learn that the only way for them to be valued and loved is to serve, right? Is to be well behaved. And that's one of the pieces I think that I'd love to touch on in today's podcast episode is, how to not only love your child unconditionally while still setting boundaries, while still disciplining them, right? While still having consequences, and particularly how to do this with our daughters.
Yes. And it's so important, the message we send, whether it's intentional or unintentional. You hear a lot about, there's still a belief that if you love your child too much, you are spoiling them. And so I think I want to start out with making it clear that love, hugging, being cuddly, giving kisses, that kind of daily interaction with a child never spoils a child. One of our basic human needs is love when we are born. And what spoils a child is giving into them all the time. If your idea is, if I don't give them limits and boundaries, that means I don't love them, I'm being mean. If that is your concept, you're actually creating a spoiled, entitled child, because you're creating a child that believes that no matter what she wants, when she wants it, or what he wants, when he wants it, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
There's no limits. There's no boundaries.
Yeah. So there's a difference between I won't get in trouble for this and my parents will still love me anyway. There is a difference between getting in trouble and still being loved.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Even, I think about my dad, and my dad was the yeller in the family, and he would have a very short fuse. But never, ever did any of us ever feel like that man didn't have our back 100% of the time. And that's what you want your child to know. My mother always had our back. We were always unconditionally loved. None of the love from my parents was based on how I behaved, How you behave is because a child is developing, they're learning, they're of a certain age, their brain is of a certain developmental stage. That bases that creates how they behave. Your example, your lessons also affects how they behave. But how they behave should never determine if you love them or not.
Hmm. Yeah. And this is the part that I think is so tricky to navigate is when your child does something that pisses you off, right?
And they
And you're
will.
and they will, and you're angry or you're frustrated or you need a break from them. All of those things are valid and okay and don't mean that you don't love them. And that's where I think parents will falter sometimes is when they think, but if I yell, if I get mad, if I'm frustrated, they'll think that I don't love them. And one quick tip is if you're worried about that, you can say, I love you so much, but I'm really frustrated right now.
Yes.
You can
Express
say
your
those
your
words,
emotion.
right?
Absolutely.
And say,
I
I'm
need
not,
to take a break. Doesn't mean I
yeah.
don't love you. It just means I personally need to take a break.
Yes. Yeah. And I say, mommy needs a brain break all the time. All the time. Because we like it's incessant. Like my kids are 3 and 6. And it is like nonstop when they are with me, and I don't blame them for it, but when they're with me, they want me to engage with them nonstop. Play, make up stories, whatever the case may be. And so when we're in the car on a 3-hour drive to the cottage, it might be like, okay, this has been a lot of fun. I'm running out of ideas for this makeup story. I need a brain break.
Right.
Why don't you two continue? It's not that I don't want to. And actually, my son the other day even asked me that. He said, "Oh, you don't want to do this with me?" And I was like, I do. I really, really do want to do this with you, but I can't do it right this second. So how about we do it after I've cooked dinner or after we've done, right? And
Right.
and
And that
they,
helps them learn delayed gratification. They
Mhm.
don't get everything instantly. And a
Yeah.
brain break, I'm so glad you say it like that because literally, neurologically, our brains do need breaks.
Yeah.
They need breaks built into your workday, not just for
Mhm.
put your kids aside. You yourself need brain breaks. Your brain needs brain breaks. And how fun is it to say brain breaks? It's really fun.
It is
So,
fun.
you
Mhm.
know, you can even say to your kids, you know what? It's a brain break. You can set the alarm, brain break
Mhm.
time. This is so
Brain
hard to
break.
say, but super
Yeah.
fun.
And we actually do set timers in our house all the time. We're like,
For
guys,
breaks, I love it.
I need 5 minutes. Why don't you go ask Alexa to set a 5 minute alarm? Like we'll do that
Right.
all the time.
And that's why kids, people go, why do siblings fight so much? They fight mostly because they're sick of each other.
Mhm.
They need a break.
Yeah.
You should have those breaks built in,
Hmm.
revolving. Look at yourself at work. Working, you'll be much more productive with a break. I don't even know you as a doctor. I don't even know how doctors go with all of that pressure. I guess you're trained to do that,
Yeah.
obviously.
We don't.
And I am not
And
trained to do
it's
that.
interesting. It's interesting that you say that because like it's impossible to stay focused 100% of the time. Like even people who do not have ADHD cannot stay focused 100% of the time. So I know myself and a lot of my colleagues, like we don't take breaks, traditional breaks when we're working, especially in the ER, because the work never stops. And we all have this sort of mentality, like, okay, I'm just gonna finish this thing that's on my desk and then I'll go take a break, but then something else, I gotta wrap up this patient or I'm gonna send this patient home because you don't want the patients to wait. Like it's a whole thing. But we take breaks in a different way, right? So my break in the ER is sitting down to eat a granola bar while doing some charting because that doesn't take a lot of
Brain
effort,
power. Right.
right? So you can also shift and do something else. And honestly, taking breaks with my kids sometimes is doing a chore with them or
Yes.
doing
Or
something with.
dance break or doing
Mhm.
something fun. You can tap, like I tap my body with my kids in class. Like they need a break. They're right, and it's a 45-minute class. And sometimes they need a break from just the chaos of the active play class. And I'll sit down and I'll go, don't make any sounds. Tap your body. Do what I do. I'll tap my legs and they have to follow along. I'm not talking. They're not talking. We're just
Mhm.
following along.
And,
And
and
it's,
yeah,
you know, it's a rhythmic way to take a break
right.
without
Hmm.
like laying
Hmm.
down and going to sleep or,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. And even that's okay. My husband does that too. He's like, Daddy needs 5 minutes on the couch.
And it's okay.
It's
And
okay.
by asking for it, it lets them and it gives them the power to ask for it too. I have clients that have kids that will say, Mommy, I need a break. How great is that?
Mhm.
Yeah, I need a break. Is that okay? Yes, go take a break. Absolutely. They
Yeah.
give themselves a timeout.
Yeah. So it's okay to and again, like if you build it into your day and it's not a surprise, it's not going to be misinterpreted as mommy doesn't want to spend time with us, mommy doesn't love us. If it's, this has been a lot of fun, but I need a break. And then we'll come back, we'll do some more. Like they're not going to interpret that as going, oh, for these next 5 minutes, mommy doesn't love me. Like that's
Right.
not how their brains work.
The truth is, when mommy is concerned about me, when mommy gives me the guidance that mommy needs to be giving me because I am a wee one and she is a big one, that is respect and love hand in hand. You can't always get your way. That is not love. You are not working on what do I want this child to be when they become a grown up,
Mhm.
giving them every request at the moment they need it when they need it is going to actually raise a very unhappy adult
Mhm.
because when things don't go their way, and they will, they won't know how to deal with it. But by teaching kids, mommy needs a break. This
Mhm.
was so fun to play, guys. Let me go take a break, or let me get dinner started, or let me do whatever I need. I need to go to the bathroom, or,
Right.
let me just sit in the bathtub. Whatever it is, also teaches them that we need our time. We need me time, and that's okay. It's not just okay, it's great.
Mhm. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does it doesn't affect love. It really creates love. Love for each other, love for yourself.
Mhm. Yeah. So when we talk about sort of discipline and the withdrawal of love and what that looks like, right? So if your child does something and they cross a boundary that's not okay and there's a natural consequence to it, whatever that natural consequence might be. And a lot of the time, and my kids have picked up on this a little bit too much, but a lot of the time I will say, if you're going to continue to be mean to me, I'm not going to want to continue to play with you.
100%.
That does not mean that I don't love my child. It means that I'm setting a boundary for myself that I hope that they learn for themselves too.
Correct. It means you do not have the right to disrespect me.
Hmm.
I don't have the right to disrespect you. Nobody deserves disrespect.
Hmm.
We all deserve to be respectful and respected.
Hmm.
And that is what that teaches. When your child talks back, or your child hits you, or your child does anything aggressive to you, you'll hear other parenting coaches going, well, they're expressing their feelings. Yes, and we want them to express their feelings, but they can learn to express them. And the key word is learn in a respectful way.
Hmm.
That is part of any kind of loving relationship is respect and trust. You
Hmm.
have to learn it, you have to earn it, you have to, you know,
Yeah.
do it.
So what I would caution, I suppose, is, for example, bedtime battles, right? Those are common. Um, One of the things that I've caught myself almost saying was, you have a choice, you got to go to bed. And if not, I'm going to leave and I'm not going to say goodnight. And I didn't say that, thankfully, but I was about to because that was really the natural consequence. Like if you guys are going to be assholes, like I'm gonna go. You're not going to get your bedtime hug. You're not going to get your
Right.
bedtime whatever.
Natural
That
consequence.
right. I didn't love that because I don't think that you should ever withhold those moments. But what I changed it to was if you don't, like, if you continue to misbehave, I'm just going to say goodnight and leave.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And, part of it is you don't give a choice to something that is non negotiable. Bedtime is non negotiable. You don't get a choice. Are you going to go to bed? You're not going to go to bed. No, you're going to bed.
Mhm.
It's bedtime.
Yeah.
The end. You can give them a choice. Are you going to bed? Do you want 2 books tonight or 3 books? Do you want 1 book and 1 song or 2 books?
Hmm.
Bedtime's not the negotiable thing. The
Hmm.
other things are. And it also aligns with I love that you said you're just going to get a good night hug and kiss and I'm going to walk out that door. We're not going to have the fluff, the
Hmm.
garnish.
Right.
And it's the same with saying goodbye. I tell parents, how many parents walk out a door of a preschool, nursery school, and they don't say goodbye because they don't want the drama, or they walk out the door of their own house. Please don't do that,
Yeah.
because the problem is your child doesn't know where you went. They don't even know if you're ever coming back. Children have to learn that mommy or daddy leave, but mommy and daddy come back. They
Hmm.
have to learn that because they don't innately know it.
Hmm.
And when you just say goodbye, you disappear. When you don't say goodbye, you disappear. They don't know where you are. They don't know where you've gone. They don't know if you're coming back. And that is a scary thing to a
Yeah.
child. Say goodbye. Let them cry. Let them learn emotionally to regulate when you do leave,
Hmm.
and let them always know where you're going and that you're going to return.
Yeah, and one of the reasons this is so important is that it will bleed into other moments of their life. So now they are going to be afraid that if they stop focusing on you for a second, you might disappear.
A
And
hundred
that's when
percent.
you have kids that are glued to you because they're so afraid that if they get distracted with something else, they turn their backs, you're going to be gone. So giving them that announcement, it's time for mommy to go. I'm going to see you after school, whatever the case may be. And one of the things that's really interesting that I don't think a lot of people know is that this starts to develop at 9 months. So when your child is around 9 months old, they start to develop something called object permanence. And that's where they know that you still exist even when they can't see you. So up until that point, they recognize you when you come into a room. They know who you are, but if you're gone, they kind of don't really even remember that you're out there somewhere,
Right.
right? So around 9 months is when that develops. And so even if
Keyword
you're not leaving
develops.
them, yeah, so even if you don't leave them in a daycare, even if you're just leaving the room, right? Like I would just give your kid a heads up and be like, I'm just gonna run upstairs, do some laundry. I'll be right back. They don't understand what you're saying, potentially, but start those habits
Early.
then. Like say, I'm leaving, and they'll watch you walk away, and then they'll watch you come back, right? And they'll learn that they leave, they come back. It's okay when
That
they
builds
leave,
trust.
they will come back. Yeah.
Right. You're building trust. It's like in the middle of the night when a child wakes up. A child wakes up in the middle of the night. Maybe they're 1, maybe they're 2. They wake up in the middle of the night. They're not hungry. They're sitting
Mhm.
in a dark room
Yeah.
and they're not sure anybody's there in the house. You know they're there. You know the dog's there. You know that your husband or wife is here. You know whoever your children are in this room. You know that. Your child doesn't. So sometimes all they need is confirmation that you're still in the house. And you
Hmm.
can talk through the baby monitor. Oh, honey, it's not morning yet. Go back to sleep. I'm right here. I'll come check on you in a little bit. We talked a little bit about this in our sleep episode. A little bit means nothing, but it's enough to comfort them. Oh, mommy will be here in a little bit. Could be 3
Hmm.
hours from now.
Welcome to Parenthood, the place where nothing makes sense, everyone has conflicting advice, and nothing you do will ever be right.
Are you sick of feeling guilty about what you do, what you think you should do? Whatever, you're going to take someone's advice and you do that, and that doesn't work, and you feel like everybody has a comment, everybody has an opinion. Whether you want it or you don't want it, you open up the internet, and all of a sudden, the thing you thought was right was wrong.
But we have a secret for you. There's more than one way to be a great parent.
And we are here together working as a team to help you. We've created the podcast, Raising Eyebrows. And this is your weekly dose of sanity in a world of parenting clickbait. So
That's it.
the end.
The end.
But that's the other thing, is the idea that when you're not there, letting them know that you're still there without having to attach yourself to them is always good throughout the day, every day, because it builds that trust. They trust that you're around. They
Hmm.
don't have to hold on to your leg to make sure you're not going anywhere. Doesn't mean they're not going to ever hold on to your leg, but it's not going to be this entirely, day of cling.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And on a total self promoting aside, I am actually working right now on a sleep behavior guide, because I think that this is one of the things that a lot of parents struggle with is those curtain calls when the kids will come out and be like, I just need one more glass of water. I just need to go to the
One
bathroom.
more.
I just need, right? And like
They one
in
more you to
isolation,
death.
right? None of those requests are unreasonable on their own, right? Or when you transition from a crib to a toddler bed, and now all of a sudden there's no longer that physical boundary. Anyway, I am working. So hopefully by the time that this podcast airs, that will be available. So we can probably link it below. But I know that is something that people struggle with, and the reasons why children do these things, because I remember very specifically it was the same as you mentioned, right? My son, he was probably 3 or 4 at the time, and my parents were visiting, and after the kids went to bed, my dad and I would go down to the basement and we had a show that we were watching together. But my son was accustomed to hearing me in the kitchen or living room, and all of a sudden it was quiet. He would go to bed and it was quiet. He didn't know where I was. And that was when the coming out of his room behavior started.
Right.
For the first
And
little while, he
looking
came
for
all the
you.
way down to the basement looking for me, and with whatever the reason was, like, oh, I need this, or I took my sock off and I can't get it back on, or whatever the case may be.
Sometimes the reason is just he needed to find you.
Right,
Mostly that's the
but they
reason.
don't usually say
Right. They
that.
don't express that. Right.
Right. So I know that can be difficult. And again, when your children are behaving in this way, right, you don't want to withhold love as a punishment, but you can still hold a boundary. So you can
Correct.
still walk with them all the way back up and you can still say, I love you, good night, but you don't engage with them. You don't make it social
It's
hour,
not
right?
playtime. Right. They don't need
Hmm.
a meal. They just
Right.
need to go back to bed and
Hmm.
be assured that you're in the room, you're in the house, you're wherever. You're not
Yeah.
away from them.
Yeah.
And that, you know, holding a boundary is love. I can't say that enough.
Hmm.
When you have boundaries and limits for your children
Yeah.
and you are consistent with holding them, except when, I mean, sometimes the kid's grown up and or they get older and now the boundary can be adjusted. Fine.
Right.
But that is love.
Hmm.
The absence of boundaries and limits is not love. And the reason I say that is because kids will literally start believing that nobody cares about them because they can do whatever they want. And they'll say, well, why are you out at 11 o'clock at night? Because
Hmm.
nobody cares. And literally, nobody does care. If you
Hmm.
don't care that your sixth graders out roaming the streets at 11 o'clock at night, you don't care. Care
Hmm.
enough to give them boundaries and limits, to show
Hmm.
them that this is a person who truly loves me.
Hmm. Well, and it also gives them a clear framework to exist within, right? Like they know what's expected of them, they know what you want. Because one of the things that kids truly desire is to please their parents, right? Like,
Absolutely,
right?
100%.
They want their parents to be proud of them, right? To say good job. They want that praise. But if they don't know how to get that, if they don't know how to make you happy, how to make you proud, then that's going to be really challenging for them. So knowing the things that they can do that you approve of is going to help them, right? And again, it shouldn't just be good behavior. It shouldn't just be service based, like that you praise them, right? If your child makes a mess and they come and tell you about it, praise them for that,
Right.
right?
There's
Thanks for
always
coming to,
something to be proud of.
yeah. Hmm.
And
Thank you for taking
make it clear.
responsibility and coming to tell me. Yeah. Hmm.
Right. Don't just say, oh, good job with nothing added to the good job. Could be good job about anything. Be
Hmm.
specific about the behavior because then they know what made you proud of them. And they'll
Mhm.
do more of that.
Mhm.
That there are adults roaming all over the place that are still working to make their parents proud of them, even maybe some of you listening, and you're never achieving it because your parent does not give you unconditional love, and you've never felt like anything you've done has been worthy of them, and that even dives deeper. But we never stop wanting our parents' belief in us, pride in us.
Mhm.
We always want it. And I know
Mhm.
it doesn't seem like that sometimes, but your children do want that.
Mhm. And that's one of the other things, right? Is the unconditional love piece is it has to be expressed. They don't know that you love them if you're not reminding them. And I know that that is hard sometimes. But that's where a lot of this praise comes in, right? If your child does something that you just expect them to do, and you say nothing about it, don't acknowledge it in any way because it's an expectation, but you can still say, thanks for bringing your plate to the sink.
Exactly.
Good,
Think of it
good
for
work
yourself,
remembering. Hmm.
right? How many times do the housekeeper parent, the person that does most of the work in cleaning the house, rarely is it ever kind of an even share. How many times does that person feel unappreciated? Oh,
Hmm.
because you're supposed to cook dinner. Oh, you're supposed to do this. Why do I have to thank her or him? Why they're supposed to do it? Because they did do it, because they made an effort.
Hmm.
And when we appreciate each other, we truly build a strong bond, a connection, and people are not feeling invisible. Biggest reason teenagers disconnect from the family because they feel invisible, because they feel nobody cares about them, nobody appreciates them. But
Hmm.
when you appreciate someone else for their effort, you not only encourage them to build a strong work ethic,
Hmm.
you help them feel like they are loved and valued. And we all want that. We all want that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's so important. And again, like this is something that comes with a lot of practice, and I'm sure I don't get it right all the time, right? I'm sure that there are moments where my children feel like I don't love them because I'm angry or because whatever the case may be. And so it's important to verbalize it. It's important to work through it. It's important to learn as you go, right? Um, but these are the things that will make a difference long term, is just that consistent presence. Like I have your back. Like as you mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, I have your back no matter what. I will love you no matter what. I might get mad. I might be frustrated. I might not give you 20,000 snuggles at night if you're misbehaving, right? I might just say, it's time to go to bed. Good night. You've now run out of time because you've been fooling around, but I love you. Good night. Like that's still something that you can do.
Right. Right. And and a lot of people listening are probably thinking, well, I didn't grow up that way. I didn't grow up with somebody telling me I loved you. I didn't grow up with somebody even acknowledging my presence or appreciating that I was there. And that's when you have to decide, am I going to do the same? How did I feel being raised like that? And do I want my children to feel the same way? You have to decide, I'm going to do better. I'm going to learn how to say I love you. Even
Mhm.
if I set a timer in my alarm, my phone that says I love you, and then
Mhm.
it reminds you to look at your kids and go, oh, by the way, guys, I love
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Send something to your older child, a text message that says, "Hey, honey, just thinking about you. I love you."
Yeah. And I am living proof that it can happen because we just like we just weren't in a very emotionally like wear your heart on your sleeve kind of family. None of us were. And I don't know that I'm sure I have, but I don't know that I've ever said I love you to anyone in my immediate family, like from when I was growing up. I'm sure I heard it from my mom. I know I did, but we didn't say it. My dad, my brother, and I. We just didn't. So I think the only people I say I love you to now are my husband and my kids. And I had to learn that, right? I had to, well, not practice. Well, Practice a little bit. Like
If
I
you
still don't do a good
practice,
enough job. Like I think even with my husband, like I still probably don't say it enough because it's not a habit for me,
yeah.
right?
And
It's usually
habits
more,
are hard to break.
yeah,
You have to
yeah.
be intentional and do it every day. Stack it into a routine. Like bedtime's perfect example. No matter what happens behavior wise, that hug, good night, I love you, I'll see you in the morning, that statement happens
Hmm.
every night.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter what the behavior is.
Yeah.
That's a given. And that's a great way to practice it. Stack it. So you want to always basically, the gist of this is your love is not based on your child's behavior.
Hmm.
Your child's behavior is what it is because they're having a challenge with something that's going on. They don't know how to regulate an emotion because we're not built with that. We have to learn it. There's something they're trying to do or conquer or get past that they don't know how to handle. But
Hmm.
you, who should be emotionally intelligent and should be able to emotionally regulate yourself, and if you can, again, learn,
Hmm.
should be
Correct.
helping them through it. You're
Hmm.
not going, okay, I'm so fed up. I just get out of my face. You're not saying things that are mean and abusive, even verbally to them. You're just saying, you know what, I need a break. I need a break doesn't mean I don't love you anymore. It just means I may lose my patience and I don't want to do that. So I'm
Hmm.
taking a break. It gives them permission to walk away when you give yourself permission to walk away.
Hmm.
But it never means you don't love them. It never changes the love you have for them. So
Hmm.
if you're the type of parent that sometimes you feel like it does, then it's usually a lack of tools that you have for dealing with it and maybe even some history that you learned from your childhood.
Hmm.
And reach out if you need help with that.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're here for.
Yeah. And I think one of the other things too is if you find the words difficult, right? A lot of this, and I mean, Celia's talked about this a number of times in the past, a lot of this is non-verbal, right? A lot of giving your children the sense that they are loved unconditionally is nonverbal. And I think one of the things that I might recommend, I suppose, is when your child does something that you don't approve of, when you're angry, whatever the case may be, and I struggle with this with my husband, is the instinct is to send them away. The instinct is to say, go to your room. The instinct is to say, you're going to wind up in a timeout. The instinct is to say, get out of my face. Like that's the message that they're receiving. And in some cases, I mean, we've talked about this before. In some cases, going in a timeout is the most appropriate thing, but rarely is that like rarely
The
isolating your
ultimate
child and
answer.
sending them, yeah, sending them to deal with it. Like what if they're doing something, if they're misbehaving, what are the chances, do you think, of sending them to their room that they're gonna like silently reflect on their behavior and improve it? Like it's unrealistic,
Right.
right? Like that's
Right.
just not something that they're good at doing.
They may calm down, but they're not going to reflect on what happened.
Right. And so if they're like in temper tantrum mode and you say, I'm gonna give you some space until you calm down, but when you calm down, we whatever you need, a hug, a cuddle, like you let me know,
And then
right?
we can talk about it when you're calm,
When you're calm.
not
So
in
like yes,
tantrum.
maybe you give them some space. Like I'm gonna give you some space rather than go to your room. I'm mad at you and I don't want you in my space anymore. And even like even my daughter, who is a bit of a whiner, well, I shouldn't say that. She'll sometimes get into this like phase where she starts to cry, and then she just won't stop. Like it'll be like 45 minutes. Like she'll just non-stop because she's just hangry usually.
Right. Yeah, usually
And
there's a trigger for it.
right. And so we will say to her, like, listen, we don't want to listen to this anymore. So you can come and join us at the dinner table. Or if you need some space, you can go upstairs and have a moment upstairs. But either way, like the fussing and whining here where we're sitting and trying to have a meal needs to stop. So it's not so much get out of my face, I'm annoyed with you. It's you can choose. If you want to keep whining like this, maybe go do it somewhere else. Otherwise, please
Right.
join us. We'd love to have you join us. And I
Exactly.
think that that small shift changes it a bit.
Yeah. And sometimes the one that needs to go away is you.
Yeah, oh,
I,
often.
you know, I've mentioned it before, and I teach parents all the time. Remember the acronym PEPA, PEPA. Extra P, that's for the pig. You throw that away. It's not about the pig. PEPA, PEPA. Pause, evaluate, plan, and act. So pause. Once you've paused, you're resetting your brain and you're not escalating. You evaluate what is really going on here. Like, for instance, your daughter was hungry. That
Hmm.
instantly makes irritability up the scale. Plan how can you approach this more productively, more constructively? And then act, do that. Do what you planned. And sometimes going through the PEPA process requires you to say, you know what, guys, I'll be right back. I'm just going to go sit down for a few minutes and then I'll come back. And sometimes that will stop their behavior because they're like, oh, well, mom's walking away. We're in
Hmm.
trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
But sometimes you going away and not sending them away will change the behavior right there. But sometimes you just need to go away and think of a proactive way to approach the situation instead of an emotionally reactive way.
Hmm. Yeah. It's hard though. We
It,
get
it
it.
is. Things are hard. I mean, it's
Yeah.
nothing easy because you're dealing with emotions and you're dealing with other people's emotions. And those other people are little
Hmm.
and underdeveloped brains, and you're not looking at another adult, sometimes dealing with other adults. Clearly also difficult because they
Hmm.
should know better. Your kids have to learn better. You have to remember that. And that doesn't mean you stop loving them. That often means you love them more. Often
Hmm.
if they're going through a difficult time, and this is for adults too. When they're going through a difficult time, they may not need the love pulled away. They actually may need more love. Teenagers, I've raised five of them. There are times when they just need more love, whether they're welcoming it or not, you
Hmm.
give it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, a lot of information, a lot of great stuff. And, you know, I'm going to recommend to you guys to go to beabetterparent.com and download that app. 24/7 answers in your pockets, backed by my experience. Soon you'll be able to get Dr. Buller's experience on the app as well. It is a parenting system full of master classes to focus on things you need help with, concentrated trainings, group coaching. It includes everything. You're not just getting the app, you're getting a system. And that's what so many people don't realize they need in parenting. Just like you have a system to learn how you do your career, we have systems for everything. There is a system for parenting. And your life and their life will be so much better if you start incorporating that system and not flying by the seat of your pants.
Hmm.
So now we must go. Our good doctor has to go be a doctor. She can't
Me
always be a
too.
podcast host, although we have such a good time podcast hosting.
We do have such a good time. Yes. Yeah. And I gotta go, yeah, pack my lunch and get to the hospital.
There you
So,
go. You got to go off and work, and I have to go work with another client. So, love that you guys were here. Don't give up your love. Give direction. You're a coach, you're a teacher, you're a guide. You're not a do it for them person,
hmm.
and you're not how do you say, giant, I control everything and you just follow along. You guys
Right.
are a team, a loving team. So work together, love each other
Hmm.
more and more, and you'll have just a great family. You'll have like cooperation. They'll want to do things with you and for you.
Hmm.
It really does work. So, anyway, thank you for being here on Raising Eyebrows. Again, share it out if you found value from this. Take one thing we said and put it into action today. After you, let's
Hmm.
say yes, write it down, talk into your phone and say, I'm going to do this. Do one thing so that you move the needle forward. And as always, we are so grateful you spending time with us because we know you're busy. We're both parents, we're busy too.
Hmm.
So, thank you for your time. And we wish you days filled with peace, love, tons of laughter. Don't forget to laugh. We need to laugh. Laughter is the best medicine.
Laughter is
And
the
we'll
best
see you here
medicine.
next time on Raising Eyebrows.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.
Bye-bye. We're so glad you were here. Thank you so much for joining us, and we truly hope you'll be here next time.
And if you are looking for a little dose of sanity on any other topic, please feel free to let us know. Leave us a comment, and we will be sure to bust that myth too.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.